Okay, we're getting sound now.
That's important. Sorry. So these people who really close the door of being or having a possibility that the existence is given by something, not necessarily by itself, then he is bound to reject everything. It means he will try to explain the things within themselves. In fact, it doesn't work, but they say that is the only way. Yes, if you block the way, dogmatically saying that there is no creator. The things as they are. They have to block themselves within a certain understanding that allows only to attribute the things to other things, whether it makes sense or not. The existence of the things to other things, as if the other things are the creator. So they have to, the author says, they are bound to associate other forces, other things which have no reality to the creator. Why? This is the argument actually the Quran follows. If you block, I think that today we have to start from here. If you block the possibility that there may be a creator, let me investigate the things, how they came into existence. I should not take the existence for granted. Be free. Don't say that God created. Yeah, I understand. We shouldn't actually. To say, let me see. We have to be free. So when we are free to think, then we see the possibility of the things are being created and given existence by something other than the universe or the things themselves. If you open the door or keep the door open. If you don't, you are bound to attribute the divine quality, it means creatorship, to something within the universe. But by definition, whatever you attribute, but doesn't matter, is to be the creator, the source of existence of anything. If this thing is within the universe, it is impossible not to ask, it is inevitable that we have to ask, what is the source of existence of that particular object? It is impossible not to ask that. Am I clear about this point? Would you like to make it? Or somebody make it with another voice, clear? Well, this is essential, but we don't really concentrate on it. We don't really think about it. What did we say? What is said?
So I'd like thus far that we have to be free thinkers in terms of questioning how things are coming into existence. Like we cannot keep on living our life, taking every moment for granted. You get up in the morning and then, you have a certain routine you go through. You have to pause and question. Otherwise, you will be stuck in an infinite loop and it will be hard for you to even question when you question, you open a possibility to getting an answer in terms of finding the source of existence of something. And if we do not question, then it is inevitable for us to get lost into the causal chain of reasoning that this object is causing me this feeling, or because of this, I'm having this, or because of this, this led to this. So,
now attributing the existence of something, it can be anything. Yeah, it can be your feeling, it may be your function of your body, it may be the function of or the quality of an atom, whatever. Yeah, but it is good to see that it can be my feelings as well. If we attribute it to anything, it will attribute the existence of that particular thing to anything within the universe. Okay, come to me now. What happens?
Then you are associating.
No, before that.
If I attribute a certain feeling to my particle.
Not necessarily feeling. Somebody is in the lab.
Okay.
And studying how the things are working.
Right.
And he says, matter X affected matter B.
Right.
Or Y, the matter Z, let's say. Doesn't have to be senses. Senses is at the end.
Okay.
What do I mean by at the end? If you really conclude that the things have a creator, etc., and then come back to your senses, whether do my senses have a creator as well? That is second stage. First, we have to go within the material world, very substantial material world, whether anything within the universe, they call it nature.
Okay.
They call it nature. Because when you say the what nature? Nature is the universe as it is. Yeah. Anything within nature, it requires the same question. For example, let's say matter X acted in this way. Why? Because of matter Z. If you follow this line of reasoning, this line of reasoning, because of matter Z. So as long as this matter Z is within the universe, it begs the same question again. What happened to how come that the Z existed? Or how come that this is important, the quality of affecting of Z, the X, exists. Because it says it moves. It moves. Because what is illusion? In fact, there is a very famous expression, you must have heard of it, domino effect.
Oh, yes.
But they say domino effect is automatic. No, one domino moves this way. What is the source of existence of movement? And it hits what is the source of or existence of this effect, movement or hitting, and pushing the other one down. Because if one domino is, the effect of one domino is attributed to another domino, you are bound to ask two things. But mostly, who moved the first domino? They say, no, before this, what is the source of effect, source of existence of the movement of domino? It is an action. Right. And then, what is the source of existence of this domino moving? It comes secondary. But people usually miss the first stage of thinking. They say, okay, this domino is pushed by the previous one. No. What is the pushing? How do you explain the action of pushing? Who made it?
Right.
Who gave existence to it? If you miss this point, what you are bound to end up with, God is the prime mover. It is meaningless, whether God, the whole universe was created by God in the beginning or not. I don't care. I am living in this world now. That God has nothing to do with me. Yeah, he created the universe. Okay, but I'm free now. I'm doing everything as I want and with my own power. He gave me, okay, but I'm here now. He is not present in the action that I'm observing. If God, the creator, is not present in the action that I am observing, this is not absolute God. It's not God. If something is not absolute, cannot be God. If something is not absolute, cannot be the creator of the universe. If something is absolute, his interaction with the act of creation must be throughout. With it means infinite.
Right.
So people usually cut it short in their reasoning and go back to the beginning. Who was the first domino moved? Yes, it is a legitimate question, but it doesn't solve the problem of my explaining my own existence, my own being right now. And I will be left without God's effect in my life, and it is not right. Not because I am going to lose God as an effective agent in my life, but it is not right. It's illogical. So as long as, that's why materialism never makes sense. As long as the creation of anything is attributed to anything of the universe, because you have some questions. You are questioning the existence of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you attribute it to another thing of the universe, you are legitimately expected to ask the same question to the other thing. That's the reasoning, if you carefully follow how unity of God is established in the teachings of the Quran. It's not very clear to everybody. It's not commonly known. That's why I'm emphasizing on it. But I want to make sure whether it is really understood. What we discussed today, so far, 2 points. If someone tries to explain the creation of the things or existence of the things within a domino effect, a relationship, because of this happened, because of this happened, because of this happened, another thing has happened. But they are all within the universe. So we have to say, look, before going back to the beginning, who was the first mover of the domino? That's a legitimate question. But before this, we have to question the actions. Because in the universe, whoever put the universe in this form, put it with the qualities, because every being, every matter has endless qualities, a lot of qualities. We have to, but moving qualities, turning qualities, I don't know, but all the Science studies describe the qualities of the things. And we have to question the existence of these qualities. We cannot take them for granted that they exist there. Even the qualities are inherent in them, still these qualities need to be explained, how they existed. That's point one that we studied today. Point two is, if you attribute the movement of one domino to another domino, are questioning the source of existence of the movement of domino 2, right? That's domino 2. Now, how come that this domino moves? And the same question, if the question is answered, no, the previous domino hit it. But the same question, endlessly, what was the word? Technical word, I forget about it. With no end.
Infinite.
Ad infinitum. It goes ad infinitum. What was the cause of motion of domino 2? And if you take the third one, what was the cause of existence of domino 3? Ad infinitum, you go on. It means, because if you need to explain, we have to understand this reasoning. If you need to explain the existence of the last domino you are seeing, how come that this domino moved?
So you have to really go backwards with the questioning until finding out.
No, it means you don't have to go back.
Okay.
No, whether it goes ad infinitum with no end, it doesn't. We don't have to think in this way. There's a very simple way of solving the problem. Look, there is no need to go back to the domino 2 in order to explain, or in order to find out the answer to the question why the last domino, let's say, is domino 1. If you need the explanation for the existence of domino 1, you know that as long as you attribute it to other dominoes, the same question will still be valid. Why do you bother? Because none of them demonstrates that all the dominoes, domino 1, domino 2, domino 3, they all beg the question, how come that I existed? That's what human mind asks. Did you get it? How come that I exist? So there is no need to go back, who created this, who created this? For example, the simple example, how the tree comes because of the seed. How the seed comes out? Because of the previous tree. Why do you go there? Why? Because if you need for an explanation of the growth of the tree, you definitely will need for an explanation of the existence of the seed. And another one, and another one. But it is a stupid question. So what you have to do now, stop at the stage, and as long as I attribute the existence to anything of the universe, I would inevitably be asking the same question to other parts. So I have to investigate, look, tree exists and it's growing, all right? Okay. How can I explain the existence of the growth of tree? And if someone says the water, the air, the seed, the soil, the mineral, whatever, I am not going to ask them. Stop there and ask the question, can seed, can water, can air, can the cells or DNA, whatever the material they have in the DNA, be responsible for the result? Does it have the quality? Does it have the quality? Shall we go back to the simple example of domino?
You're asking the question.
Sorry?
Are you asking the question?
Yeah, I'm saying we have to ask the question before going into the
Previous stage of its existence.
recession, endless recession. Yeah, endless recession. Do you understand the word? Yeah, endless recession, ad infinitum recession. There is no need to go there. Can the seed or the matter, particles of the seed of the tree, be the reason or the cause of the tree to grow? Does it have the quality? Question the quality of it. Domino example. The last domino dropped, fell. And the previous one, domino 2, hit it. Can domino 2 be the source of existence of this movement? Falling, hitting. Can it do it? Because in the universe, domino effect is a very simplified example, although simplified is valid. It is valid because we see it. But in the universe, everything makes an effect and changes the quality of something else in the chain of relationship. It means in the order of the universe, there is always change and perfection. Or perfection means really growing, developing, and dying. There is no static repetition of the event. I mean, no one can say that the movement of the universe causes no change at all. It is just static. Can they? No one can say that. For example, the tree is growing, animals are growing, the matter is always moving at motion. They are always in motion. It's just, it is a subject I don't know whether I was able to explain it. Now, somebody wanted to ask first. Did you want to ask first? Because somebody was raising.
I had a question before, but I think you answered it as you're going. So you were talking about like questioning, like going through, like there's a domino effect and the original one, there's an infinite source. So some people might question, if things were created, then who created the creator?
Oh, no. First of all, if you say things were created, what are you talking about? Things.
The universe.
Things that the universe is created. That is our point now. By what? If the universe was created by a part of the universe, another part of the universe, of course we have been discussing this. You should ask the same question. What was the source of existence of this part? But if you understand that in order to be the source of existence, cause of existence of something, you or the thing must be not of the nature of the universe. Then you cannot ask the same question, because this is not a part of the universe that you can ask this question to any part of this universe. So it is a very, I'm not saying you, but some people, maybe they may even seem to be a scientist or philosopher, simple-mindedness. They are just using the word without knowing what they're talking about. When you say, if the universe is created, by what? By what? So, who created the creator? You don't define the creator. It's so simple. Because the creator, by definition, in our own observation and conclusion, cannot be a part of the universe. So you cannot ask the same question to something which is not part of the universe as if it is a part of the universe. It is a logical fallacy. It doesn't work.
Sorry to interrupt. I really think the sound is not working on the video because I checked my phone a few times. I was trying to listen
Right now?
to it. Yeah, right now.
I got a message saying that it wasn't working, then we fixed it. Let me check again.
I just
And now?
want to let you know. I don't
Text
think
again.
people-
Okay.
I doubt if it's working.
So can you check?
I'll check.
I did check, it's not working.
It's not working.
Yeah. It's not working. when I put my
Sound
headphones
is
in.
not working. What do you think the reason is?
I'm just, sorry, I didn't mean to.
The microphone is unmuted, as far as
Yeah.
its icon says.
Let me check.
Yeah.
It's
It's
working.
fine? Oh, okay. Sorry. Maybe it's.
Okay, maybe previously it wasn't working. You are right. We got the text and reminders. Okay, now,
So you're saying we
yeah.
cannot define the creator because, by definition, it is not part of the universe. So
You cannot ask the same one, because if something is not part of the universe, it is that is the only way for us to describe that thing. I cannot describe it. Do you understand? Because I can describe something within the conditions of this universe. So I cannot describe it because it is not a part of this universe. So, or of the nature of this universe. So I cannot ask this. By definition, this source must be
Absolutely.
absolute.
So can't you describe some things about what exists outside the universe, if indeed the creator has
No.
these qualities that are?
No, you cannot describe anything outside of the universe.
In absolute sense? Or
Yeah.
in any sense?
No, you cannot describe even the absolute. Impossible. Yes? Are you following? Yeah, good, thank you. So you cannot describe anything out of the universe because our capacity to describe is only possible to describe anything of this universe. So what it means, if I cannot describe something, does it mean that I cannot conclude that thing must exist? No.
Yeah.
Because in fact, the conclusion necessitates that. But it's a very fine point. You know, if someone is not really 100% following the argument, cannot get it. So if what we do about the creator, it is logically necessary to conclude that there must be a creator. Do you understand the difference? That's why we avoid using there is a creator.
Yeah.
There must be. Why? To emphasize that, as I cannot explain anything in this world. Existentially. Existentially. I cannot think, nothing can be explainable if I don't really attribute the existence of anything in this universe to a one which is not of the nature of this universe. That is essential. We keep repeating this phrase in our discussions, but it is difficult to register because we are not used to thinking and comprehending the things alongside this understanding. Yeah, we just make the things very simple, and when we really have a very simple way of understanding the creation or existence or whatever, the universe, it is bound to be logically false. And then, of course, the people listen to you and your reasoning is not satisfactory. Your reasoning is, as the author says, is dogmatic. And dogmatism cannot be accepted by people or people who reason, who use their human reasoning. So we have to be careful. We cannot be simple-mindedness. As far as belief matters are concerned, we have to be serious. Somebody wanted to ask another question, and you did. Okay.
I have another question. But
Okay, you go ahead. So somebody is not jumping in. So.
Just to clarify, on the last question, I understand that we cannot conclude on anything outside of this universe because we are.
We can conclude.
In the
We
sense
cannot describe. Be careful with the words. Yeah.
Okay. We cannot describe in an absolute sense anything that's outside of this universe because we're confined by the order of this universe. In essence, we're limited to that. But can we conclude too about certain qualities?
Yeah.
Okay.
But how?
In absolute sense.
Not, we can conclude about the certain qualities, not in description, but in conclusion. For example,
What's the difference?
If something is coming into existence with a beautiful appearance and with wisdom, for example. So you can say, you can use this language. Whoever is the cause of existence of that action in the thing that I'm seeing results in beauty, must have a quality of beautifying.
I see.
Right? But existence of the quality, not the description of the quality. But what we can describe the difference between, let's say, a rose and a piece of dirt. We say, this is beautiful. I like it. I want to have it. The other one, ugly. So as far as human capacities tells us that we can make the distinction beauty and ugliness. So these are the qualities that we are observing in the creation. So we have to question, what is the source of existence of this beauty, quality of beauty? So you cannot attribute the quality of beauty to anything in this world. It causes ad infinitum recession, doesn't make sense, doesn't answer. Why should I go there? So I have to see what can be the source of the existence. Only the one who is the source of existence of the whole universe, who is not of the nature of the universe. We've got to say it every day. This one, as every day we pray 5 times a day, we have to repeat this phrase. When we say Allahu Akbar, it means this actually. Akbar means Akbar, 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 which means not of the nature of the universe, not of the kind of universe. Akbar means, don't say Allah is great. What do you mean? What do you mean, great? Or you are a great. Muhammad Ali was great. Do you see what I mean? But a literal meaning of the Quranic phrases are meaningless. You cannot read the Quran with literal meaning. Yeah? So you have to understand great means you cannot think of his essence, his nature within the qualities of this universe. It means absolute.
How would you have the same logic for negative qualities of the universe as well?
For example,
Like you said, the example of like rose and dirt, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to take a negative quality like greed.
no dirt. Yeah, we know that
Yeah.
the beauty, the rose, and the ugliness, the dirt, okay, is subjective. They exist, but they exist and they are subjective. For you, something is dirty. For the cockroach, it is. Yeah? If you put a fresh footage, cockroach doesn't come. Smelly, old food, they go there, they love it. So we have to understand that although it is reality, it doesn't mean that beauty and ugliness don't exist. They do exist, but you cannot say that this one is absolutely ugly. For example, we have to understand this in a very simple way that if something looks ugly for me, for my purpose, I would say for my purpose, it's ugly. Not the existence of that thing is ugly. So, for example, let's say if somebody has a needle to mend his clothes, right? But it is good for him to have a needle. If another person has the same needle and to sting it, poke it into somebody's hand, it is bad. From our perspective, from our side, for our expectations, we are given these qualities to make the distinction between bad, good, right, wrong, so that we will be able to experience or practice our free will to choose. I will do this, it is good. I won't do this, it is bad. So that is for human, they call it proximity, praxis, human praxis, not proximity, praxis. It means practically for human beings, it's bound to be in this way. Got it? So we have to have the choice. In order to have a choice, we have to have something better than the other, something more right than the other, this kind of relationship. Right? Okay.
So you said that when you experience a quality that's subjective to you. So for example, let's say a person may be looking at a piece of art. One may
say good, somebody say bad. Yes.
Right.
Okay. But it doesn't mean that the difference doesn't exist. But when I label something bad, when I label, I think we studied this on several occasions, but it's not enough. I know it's not enough. When I label something bad, it is according to, this label is according to my human expectations, not according to the existence of that thing.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say there is something here which is dangerous for me. I keep away from it. But I cannot say that the existence of that thing is bad. But it is bad for me. Yeah, for my expectations. So it gives me, it allows me to practice my free will. I will go this way, not this way. So if you want to go, for example, if you want to go to the south, it's sitting in the south because we are in New York, you want to go to Washington. If you go to the north, towards Boston, it is bad for you. Your distance is getting longer. But no one can say that going towards Boston is bad. It is impossible. So it is relative. Look, our observations are relative. But relative doesn't mean that they don't exist.
So we're
You get it?
talking about the qualities, like I was thinking of it more in terms of that we get to know the creator through the qualities we experience in the universe.
Yeah.
So we talked about ugliness and beauty, and then in the
Well,
eyes,
harmful, useful.
right. So some may perceive something that I perceive as ugly as beautiful, right? So I'm saying that an object a person can experience different qualities from one object. So I may, maybe if I look at this, I may perceive this to be beautiful. Anna may look at it and perceive that to be ugly. Just one object is like transferring different qualities.
But this is for human perspective.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean we are trying to make the distinction between my relationship with the things and their existence. Everything exists is necessary. If someone says, oh, this insect is harmful for my fruit, let me get rid of, eradicate the existence of this insect. Ask the ecologists what they will say. Ask. You are being wrong. These insects are needed, but you may not like it to be with your animal or with your plant. But that is your preference. But you cannot say that the existence of this kind of insect is bad.
Okay.
Now, well, who can create that insect? So beautiful an art it is.
The existence of any quality needs to be questioned and it's created.
It must be created, otherwise how does it exist?
Yep.
It must be created and we have to question the creator. And see that thing, for example, somebody may be annoyed with an insect. So we may say, oh, it's ugly or horrible, this kind of things. When they question the existence of that insect, nothing in the universe can create it. Nothing in the universe it can be the source of its existence. We clearly understand that it is an absolute existence. It needs an absolute creator to exist. We understand that. No one in the universe, nothing in the universe can be the source of existence of anything you don't like or you like, for that matter. Nothing can be.
So when you get to know the creator of that roach, obviously.
No. When you get to know that this roach needs to be given existence by something necessarily not of the nature of this universe, you say, it is a perfect witness. It is a perfect sign to the qualities of the creator that I can see.
So
but I don't want roach in my bed. So this is what I'm going around. I don't like it. Yeah.
So I may start seeing beauty in the roach.
Yeah, of course. Can you attribute or can you define the beauty of the roach by attributing it to anything in the universe that it made this beauty design on the roach? It is beautifully designed, isn't it?
It is actually.
Yeah. So when you look at the things from existential point of view, you may not like it, but you appreciate their existence. That is the difference between a believer's attitude to the nature, to the creation, and a non-believer's attitude to the creation. A non-believer's attitude to the creation will be according to his benefit, his own, but in fact, subjective view. A believer's attitude, which is very, by the way, if you study Islamic theology, the Muslim scholars were crazy about making this distinction. The existence is perfect. Whatever you don't like it, but you have to understand the value of its existence. You have to appreciate the value of its existence. Value of its existence.
As in the source of its existence. Because.
But value of its existence because it points to the source, to the creator.
Okay.
So every object, they say, every object has the right to exist. That is a very common phrase used by Muslim thinkers, scholars. Every object has the right to exist. Why? Because every object in its existence is a perfect sign to its creator. Following? So this reasoning, this kind of understandings, perceptions are forgotten now. They are very simple-minded, saying that God created the universe, or the universe needs a creator, it's God. And I am a Muslim, I'm a Christian. Very simple-mindedness. Very simple-minded. And this is not really, it is of course, it is not a denial. It is not a real substantial belief. And this kind of belief cannot guarantee that it saves you from falling shirk, association with God. Why? Because it doesn't solve any problem. That human beings, when we have anything goes bad and if something goes against my expectations, I go crazy. No, why? Because I don't know what I'm doing in this world. Even I say I believe in God. When I say I believe in God, doesn't mean anything for me, practically. Yeah.
Quick question. So I think you brought up an interesting point for me right now, because beyond, like understanding why like things existing and their value and the source of them, you also kind of touched on, for example, you don't want the roach in your bed.
No.
So there's like a purpose for these qualities, I guess, in they're made for certain, I don't know, like
Because,
times and places.
or for other things. Cockroaches are good when they eat the crumbles and the leftover crumbles of food, etc. That's their duty. They are sanitary workers.
Yeah.
So if you don't want cockroach, sorry, roach, whatever, in your home, keep your home clean.
So is this
It's very simple. They don't come. They come if there is no food. There is no job for us. Go. Yeah, go and look for another place.
So is this kind of touching on, I don't know if this is a stretch, is this touching on kind of like the law of nature of how these qualities are manifested in the world? Like, because if you take a quality and it was put in another setting, it could cause problems or, whatever in the world.
So that's our experience.
Okay.
There is no laws of nature. What is there? What is there? The universe is being given existence within a certain order. Yeah? Nature, the things cannot have laws. They are unconscious. So this expression, I know you are using it for a practical reason, but we have to know that when I do some experience in the world, when I do some experience in the world, if I understand how the order is working and understand that the order always works in this way, I say this is the law. But I have to be very conscious that this law is the will of the choice of the maker. Otherwise, it cannot happen by itself. The unconscious particles cannot decide always, I will do this. They have no decision quality to decide. So we learn the laws according to our expectations. Use them according to our expectations. We learn the laws. This is a choice for us, but we cannot say that the whole universe works according to my expectations. But ultimately, yes. Why? But we have to be very careful. Ultimately, everything is created, as far as I can see, as far as I am concerned, I am in the center of the point or interest. The universe is created for me. So everything in the universe is for me. But because I have the free will, some of them I want them to be with me. Some of them I want them to avoid. No, I want myself to avoid it. Because this is the dirt, clean water, I can drink it. But if there is dirty water, I say, no, I don't want it. So I'm learning that the dirty water is harmful for my body. But the creation of the dirty water is for me as well, to avoid it. So that I will be able to practice my free will. If all water is clean, if everything is, the tree, plants, animals, the world, the weather, exactly as I want.
I cannot practice my free will then.
So how can I make distinction between this is right, this is wrong, and learn? So I will only within the opposites that I question. When I question, I learn. If somebody doesn't question, doesn't learn. Okay. So in order to avoid falling into association, or assigning associates to the creator, we should stop bigotry in both senses. In denial or in saying that I believe in God. Bigotry, no bigotry. What we have to do, we have to question, investigate, really reason, and come to a conclusion. Now, the text says, the one who creates a fruit with all of its art and meaning. Be careful. All of it is art and meaning. You can show the page 2. Here it is. First paragraph. Show it. It's very simple. Did you see? Yeah. Okay. With art and meaning. With its art and meaning. What does it mean? With its art and meaning, the qualities. We call them qualities. But, of course, this text adds something. Not only the qualities itself, the meaning of these qualities. Because they have meanings. So, meaning of these qualities. So, the one who creates a fruit with the meaning of its qualities and with all the qualities it has, can create and govern the whole earth. Why? That is another approach now. Why? How can we conclude this? how can we say that it can create? The one who created, let's make it simple, break the sentence into a simple structure. If I say anything X has given existence to fruit, I am bound to say that this X must be able to give existence to the whole earth. And continue. This X, if I think that this X is the source of existence of the earth, must be the source of existence of the galaxies, solar system. You know that they are all interrelated, interlocked. Nothing can exist by itself. For example, the earth is rotating. If there was no sun, no benefit, no stability like this. So if there was no earth, the moon will collapse. Even if there was no what was it?
Solar system.
Solar system. The earth is a what? Is a planet. There were no planet. The existence of the sun would be meaningless, because they work in connection with each other. They are created all within the universe interdependently. So if you say that I did this, you must be, for example, if one says, I built this building, of course, simply we say it, but if we think that he is the creator of the building, he must be the creator of the gravity. He must be the creator of the earth. It is rotating. He must be the creator of the qualities of the cement, the food, the sands, and whatever is involved in it. He must be the creator of everything. But if I say I used the already existing things and applied it according to the will of the order of the universe, so whoever willed this order, I asked it to create by attempting it. When you drink your water, what do you think? Are you building up your building, your body? No, you are not. You are asking the creator of your body, the creator of the water, creator of the digestive system, creator of the system that swallows it. That some people cannot swallow. Can you imagine? Yeah, it is a very precious value. So you must be the creator of it. But if you say, I am just following the order, which is the word in the Quranic language, abd, worshipper, if you like, beggar. Yeah, asking the creator, that is your principle, I am applying, then according to treat me, create for me. So we have to be aware of all these things, and we understand when we really get together all these alternatives, that interrelationship is so powerful in the universe. You cannot say that one thing, one particle exists independently, not necessarily independently from its creator. That is absolutely true. You cannot explain its existence, but independently from its fellow friends, sisters, other creatures. This is what I mean? This statement is bound to be wrong. Nothing exists independently. Even we don't exist independently. We are always our embryonic cord. Is it right? Not what is this?
Umbilical cord. Umbilical cord.
Umbilical cord. I want to learn this word. Umbilical cord is through air. You cannot cut off the air and live for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's it. So simple. Yeah, all your cells die. So we are all connected. We need gravity. We need the earth to rotate. We need the earth to rotate in a way that, or go around the orbit, around the, going to its orbit, the set rule for it, according to the position of the sun, so that the seasons will happen. And it has to be in this way, in that way. Everything must be perfectly adjusted as far as the whole order of the universe is concerned. So if someone says, shall we go back to the simple example of domino, which the philosophers keep using it, but which is really illogical to me. It's just made up story to me. If you really sincerely think about it. So if someone says domino 1 in the example we used was affected by domino 2, it means this domino 2 must be able to create and affect all the things in the world. If we think that it is the source of existence of an action, that's what we have been trying to establish today. That's how we can avoid falling into shirk. If we are not careful about this kind of things, we can still believe in God, but alongside with shirk. Impossible to avoid shirk. No one can say that I believe in God or I don't believe in anything else. But as soon as while he's saying this, she or he is attributing the belief to himself. He's already committing the shirk. Because the existence of the belief is a quality and it cannot be the source of it. Just to start with, as you claim it, in the claim, you are contradicting yourself. So that you say, I can move my hand, I do this way and go that way. I am such a person, attributed all to I. It's shirk. But it is that we have to understand and appreciate the practical language. But how conscious are we? This is a practical language. How conscious are we? This is the matter that we are dealing with here. We have to be aware of reality. That's not.
Hi. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. So the reason why, if you say that the domino is the cause of that movement of making the second domino move, the way to think about it correctly is by saying that the domino is not the creator of the phenomenon of movement, but is actually just using that phenomenon of movement.
No, it doesn't have a free will. It is subject to this. It is subject to this order.
Okay.
So, but it is bound to do in this way because it is created in this way, right? But when we attribute an action to a human being, he is a conscious being first. Second, he is making a free choice consciously by using his free will. So this man, this person, is expected to be aware that he is just obeying or using his free will to obey the order. And accordingly, he will be given the result, created. But he cannot say that I created. Even he may not be able, he may not use the language I created. So we have to be aware that I am not the source of existence of the things I am doing. So I am only, for example, the builders, the architects of this building are nothing but beggars, not creators. They have to understand that we obeyed the law, we obeyed the order in the creation as a result of our obedience, which is called, if you are conscious of it, worship of the creator of the order. Worshipping the creator of the order. The language was wrong. Worshipping the creator of the order. It means we worshipped, we obeyed, we worshipped the creator of the order, and the creator of the order responded positively, and here is the building. I am not the creator, I am the beggar. Petitioner. That is human beings. But when it comes to non-conscious matter, as far as we know, but there are other subjects which is beyond the capacity of our discussion today. As far as the matter itself is concerned, when the matter, for example, let's say something happens and the rock splits, cracks, and splits from the top and rolls down to the bottom, right, of the mountain, okay? Now, does it have a free will? No. It is just created within the order. But as the observer, like you and me, seeing the event, we should be aware that language-wise we say that the piece of rock is falling down, right? That is okay, but the language. But we should be aware that it is falling down according to the will and the power of creation of the creator. We should be aware of it. We are responsible for ourselves. Right? We cannot say that whether the rock is aware of it or not, my business. I'm responsible for my own perception of the existence. How do I perceive the existence? So if I'm aware of this kind of things, then hopefully, we try to avoid falling into shirk. But 100% purifying yourself, avoiding the shirk, impossible. Nah. So we have always, there is room for progress. So let's say I solved this problem, I understood, and I'm conscious of it. I'm not going to have this understanding, let's say, of shirk. So about the creation of something, I will really attribute the creation of that thing to its creator, God. And in another time, in another matter, we fall into shirk again, because we have to develop. Yeah, that's why free will is for. They're out there to force us, if you like, to use it, but while we are using it, we have to say, this approach is wrong, this approach is right. Right? So by making these preferences or choices, we are becoming more and more aware if we are making the choice in the right way.
So I want to drink this water, for instance. The phenomenon of me being thirsty and the phenomenon of me moving this is I created. The existence of that was created by something not of this world, but I am using my free will to go through the order to make that
obey the order.
To obey the order. food order to satisfy the thirst.
That is you have learned from the order. Now that's why you follow this pattern of action. When you feel thirsty, you go and drink water. What your consciousness is requiring there, while you are drinking water, you are not the agent. You are a beggar. Creating agent is the one who created the whole order of the universe. That consciousness is required in order not to fall into the shirk. That's why we cannot, practically, we cannot keep this consciousness awake all the time, 100%. So that is why if someone says, I never commit shirk, it means he or she is a fool. Doesn't know his reality. And he doesn't know what shirk is. It means. We think that shirk, those people who commit shirk used to live in the prophetic era in Mecca. Yeah. I mean, if you call it religion, it's nothing to do with history. It's not your religion.
So if I'm working and I'm thinking in my mind, let's say, for example, practically I'm working and I'm making money, and I don't think of God as the giver.
Yeah.
It's a form of shirk.
Yeah, form of shirk, but of course you don't really intend deliberately, like the materialists do, saying that this thing is the creator of the universe. You are not saying that. But as far as your consciousness and the responsibility for your consciousness is concerned, you are not fulfilling your responsibility. Do you understand? That is why this is not the shirk that we should say, okay, I'm collapsed now, or I am destroyed totally. Get it? You say, I have to remember. I have to refresh my mind. That is why the Quran keeps saying that, remember. And the prophets also are advised to remind them. Why? We keep forgetting. But why we don't understand the Quran properly? One reason I mentioned recently, a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Quran speaks in the most extreme cases. Right? The perfect belief, perfect shirk. 100%. Right? And we apply it, this most extreme case, to myself. I am not 100% mushrik, the one who commits this mistake. So I say, I'm not a mushrik. But that is the Quranic description of the case in black and white terms. But we find ourselves where? In between, in the gray area. So we never get to the most perfect belief and never fall into the most perfect shirk. So what we have to do, we have to try to get rid of the shirk as much as possible by using our consciousness, educating it, training it, and getting closer to the perfect belief. But that doesn't mean that one day I will reach. Don't worry, you won't. So no worry. But what is important? Where are you? Are you walking this way or this way? Which way are you working on? Wherever you are, doesn't matter. For example, I'm in this position now. I have no idea about religion. I have no education, blah, blah, whatever. Or I have only tradition. What I heard from my parents, which is trash, garbage. Yeah. But what you heard from, it's not religion. It is tradition. It's culture. So forget about that. So, but what I am left is with nothing. Okay. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are now, make a decision to make your direction. Which way? Which way do you want to go? From now on. That's why we understand that in our previous mistakes, say, I am here now, I want to go this way to the east, and this is the west. Without realizing I have been going to the west. And one day I realized that, oh, what I'm doing is I'm totally lost. I'm lost. I'm wrong. And God says, stop, turn back. That is tawbah. That is repentance. And start walking to the west, not to the east. Make a decision and turn it. As long as you stop and start walking to the west, you are towards the right. This is what I mean? So you cannot get the end. But what is important? Which direction are you going? So while you are working, you say, I'm thinking this is the work and I'm making money. Okay. I am not really very conscious that everything is created by God. I'm just asking. I'm a beggar. I have to develop this understanding and educate myself accordingly. Right? So training is necessary. But if I do nothing, saying that I am a believer, finish it, you are lost. All the, you are living in the world and you are a man of word under the title of religious man, but you are not making any progress in your purpose. So decision is necessary and be consistent. Consistency is necessary. Inshallah. So today we wanted to discuss this, how one should avoid from shirk by being aware that the simplest thing in the world, even the simplest thing in the world, needs a creator in order to explain its existence, which this creator, in your understanding, must be able to create the whole universe. Now, if someone says this domino was affected on this one, ask the question now. If it is the creator of the action, it must be able to create the whole universe, because this action is taken within the whole universe. Without gravity, it doesn't happen. You see, if the earth doesn't rotate, there is no gravity. This is what I mean. It has to be able to rotate the earth if it is the creator. But if it is a beggar, it means obeying the law or the rule of the order. It's okay, it's obeying. It's not the source of existence. It's not claimed that. But human beings say the domino 1 affected domino 2. They don't really realize what they are saying. Affected? The source of existence of the moment? The author says, now think, can you really say that the domino 2, which affected the 1, 1 is the last one in our example, affected the 2, affected the 1, can make the gravity exist? No, it cannot be the source of existence of the action. It is subject to. Right? For example, let's think of a building made up of bricks. Now, we know that if you take the bricks at the bottom, take them away, what happens? The others are column. The others, column. So, can you say that, oh, these bricks were responsible for the building to not to fall. How do you say to be in the as they are. Let's make the simple language. To be as they are. So you have to say, if someone says these bricks are the makers or the creators, the effect are the effect which keeps the building upright. It means you have to say, look, can the brick be the creator of the whole building and the gravity and whatever the stability of the earth's rotation, etc.? It cannot be the creator, but it is put there by somebody else in order to obey, follow the order of the universe. Somebody put it there. It cannot happen by itself. It cannot be responsible for not collapsing the universe. But they are put there. I don't know how the people, of course, they simply say that this affected this, this affected this, this is the cause of something, this is the cause. All the science books are full of this word. It causes this. It affects your health. All the language is all meaningless as far as the philosophical side of it is concerned. But as far as the practical explanation of the order, yeah. But if they don't attribute the order to a creator, it means they are talking trash. Yeah. It seems to be a big claim because we are under the influence of this language so much, and whole secular science is based on this language. Are you really challenging? Yeah, the Quran challenges. Bring your evidence. The Quran always says, bring your evidence. Yeah, show me, demonstrate it to me that this is the source of existence of certain results. So, we can read one more paragraph. Yeah, do you think we have time? Yeah, we have some time, not much.
If people awaken from their ignorance and analyze their unbelief according to true scientific knowledge, they must acknowledge that they have attributed functions and missions to one minute particle that one minute particle that it cannot fulfill. For example,
now, did you get the sentence for sentence?
Mm-hmm.
You can read it again to emphasize the importance of it, because this paragraph is based on this first sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again.
If people awaken from their ignorance and analyze their unbelief according to true scientific knowledge, they must acknowledge that they have attributed functions and missions to one minute particle that it cannot fulfill. For example, they will have to admit that each atom contains millions of machines and can produce all subtleties of art found in all creatures. Each air particle can enter all plants and flowers, trees and fruits, and work therein. If it is said that these particles do not work in the name of one in whose hand is the kingdom of all things, then each particle must have full knowledge of whatever it enters.
Let's read the following paragraph just to get the example.
Consider a fruit. It is a miniature of the whole tree, and its seed is like the page upon which the tree's life history is inscribed. Also, it is connected with all members of its species as well as the whole earth. Therefore, by virtue of the greatness of its art and meaning, the art of one fruit is as great as that of earth. Thus, the one who creates a fruit with all of its art and meaning can create and govern earth.
Yeah, we can stop here. Who would like to summarize this? Because we really fundamentally, we covered the
Right.
foundational idea or foundational methodology. Now it is easy. Use the examples here and make it more practical. If anybody, yeah,
I can
try.
Yeah. So I think what the author is trying to say here is that if you understand the what's the word, not just the functionality, but the method in how a single fruit is created,
coming into
existence, then you
created means how, because we are looking at the matter now,
Right.
and we are questioning
Right.
whether it is created or not. This is the result. We don't know yet because we are questioning now. So how that fruit or that seed or that tree came into existence?
Right.
That's investigation. Yeah.
Right. So from the very start to the finish of its creation, if you question every single stage of it, and the particles or matter that go into its creation, then with that knowledge and acceptance of how that fruit is created, you can come to the conclusion that the universe has also been created by the same creator.
So change the logic now.
Yeah.
Upside down, other way around. When you look at let's say, a seed or a piece of anything, but living beings are most attractive and beautiful example that we understand. When you look at a seed, for example, you have to conclude that logically that the source of existence of this seed must be the source of existence of the whole tree. The source of existence of the whole tree must be the source of existence of all living beings. The source of existence of all living beings, because they are interrelated, interlocked.
Right.
Source of existence of all living beings must be the source of existence of you carry on, the universe. So you don't say that seed is created and the universe is created. It is right, the sentence is right, but it doesn't logically tie. So we have to have our heart, our mind completely satisfied. I say, yeah, that must be absolutely true. For myself,
Right.
nothing to do with my religious background.
Right.
I have said to human being right now, whether I'm a Christian, but atheist, or whatever, agnostic, whatever I say, socially I describe myself, miserable, doesn't matter. This is inevitable for me to come. That is Iman. This relationship between any minute thing, as far as the existence of that thing is concerned, we have to know that all the other things are tightly related to each other. So you cannot attribute the event, one event, saying that, I left this one and it dropped because of gravity. What do you mean? Because of gravity, as if gravity is the cause. Yeah, mainly you experience this and this and this, and you call it gravity. But this is the order of the universe. And gravity cannot exist by itself. It depends. on the rotation of the Earth, or what are the mass, actually the power, attracting power of the mass, whatever the physics describe it. However, we know that it doesn't happen by itself. So it cannot be the creator of the gravity. So gravity needs to be created. So gravity cannot be the creator of the falling. But this is the order, I understand. That is why the translation says true scientific knowledge. What do you mean by? Is there any wrong scientific knowledge? It doesn't really, the author doesn't speak in laboratory experiences. How do you interpret it? It means true interpretation of the events that we observe in the universe or in our life or in our laboratory. So true means interpretation is true. Otherwise, true scientific research is one experiment was done wrongly with mistakes. Another one is perfect, but it doesn't mean that. So we have to know that true scientific knowledge, it is something to do with thinking, yeah, in order to explain the meaning of that event. How do I explain? Yeah.
Yes. So what I gathered from the passage is that scale and scope are kind of irrelevant when you're coming to conclusions.
No.
Whereas the universe.
I cannot follow you because you are speaking too fast for me. My English is very, very primitive. Slowly,
Okay.
articulatedly. Yes, let me hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Scale and scope are irrelevant.
Sorry?
Scale and scope are irrelevant.
Scale and scope are irrelevant.
For example, the universe.
Sorry?
Usually.
Don't worry.
It's okay.
But this is my mistake, not yours.
No,
Because
no
I
problem.
am not familiar with this.
Okay.
So I speak very simple language. If you
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The size of the subject doesn't matter. Like the universe is the biggest thing we can imagine, and there are miracles therein.
Sorry? There are
miracles within the
What do you mean by
universe.
miracles?
We can find something as human beings to be amazed at looking at the
Yeah,
universe.
wondrous things.
Yes.
Yeah. okay.
Even as a scientist, you are amazed at the universe because of the galaxies
Okay,
and the
okay.
orbits.
Okay.
But if you think about one planet in particular, if you think about Earth, there are even more miracles to wonder about.
Yeah.
Like
It means-
ecosystems
it
and
means-
such.
It means.
But you can keep going. The
Yeah,
size doesn't
so-
matter. Even if you go smaller, like looking at one particular forest,
Yeah.
that has its own miracles and enough
Yeah,
to
and
ponder
also
about.
one particle.
And one tree to look at has
So
miracles. One peach of
particle,
that.
count the one particle.
You keep going down and down, and there's still
One
miracles.
particle.
You can keep zooming in, even to tiny particles
Yeah.
inside the pit of that fruit. And there's still miracles. And as a
So
scientist,
miracles, what we are using this word with a loaded meaning. Say something that we wonder, it means, very simply, it means we cannot explain the existence of something by attributing it to other parts of the universe. We studied this at the beginning of today's discussion. You were not here. So when you use certain words, like miracles, although the meaning is correct, everything in its existence is miracle, is a miracle. But we have to conclude that it's a miracle. How? We have to be sure that, look, whether the universe in its totality is wonderful or not, the people say they happen to be like this by themselves. So you say, no, it cannot happen. What is your evidence? So they don't have an evidence, I understand. But what is my evidence? So I have to break down my thinking on a very, very clear, simple base. I cannot explain the existence of any quality of the particle by attributing it to anything in this universe. Get it? Are you following this reasoning? Can you explain the existence of one particle by attributing to another thing in the universe that this is the cause of existence of this particle? Can anybody show it?
You would keep going back and back and back.
Can anybody show it? How can you answer that? How can you explain the existence of the particle? Now this shows that without attributing the existence of this particular being, whatever this particle or a seed or what the core of the seed, whatever it is, attributing it to the creator of the whole universe, no one can ever convince human mind that it is the effect of something of the universe, something of the universe, anything of the universe. That is why the people say this is miraculous. It's a miracle. Why? What do you mean by miracle? Definitely you meant this. It cannot be attributed to anything of this universe. That is called miracle. But we have to define it. Why? How do I know? That we have to say, we have to use always simple language. So everything is wonderful. Okay, wonderful. No one says it is not wonderful. Even the atheists say it is wonderful. What makes you a believer who appreciates the wonderful side of the existence? What makes an unbeliever who appreciates the wonderful aspect of the universe? I have to explain it. Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
So we should not start from the result, conclusion. That our conclusion, we shouldn't really put our conclusion into the argument. But we have to come to the conclusion by basing it. Methodologically, we are trying to emphasize on this. Okay. Anyone else would like to make a comment on these two paragraphs? No?
I think that's it.
Again, we can summarize the way we started off the discussion in terms of if people awaken from their ignorance. So without questioning, definitely one can be stuck in ignorance. So when you question, that's when you sort of start reasoning or develop some kind of logic in between, within yourself to come to a conclusion. So that's a way to help you. Well, the questioning should help you come to a reasoning, the reasoning of the true scientific knowledge, how we interpret the universe, explaining how things are coming into existence, and really being, like the sister was saying, everything is a miracle. It may seem you're like, oh wow, how did this happen, right? So when you question, when you're in a state of wonderment, amazement, and you're questioning you're trying to interpret this miracle experiences that you observe in the universe, then hopefully you can come to a conclusion, not hopefully, you must come to a conclusion that there must be something not part of this universe that is bringing things into existence.
Causing their existence.
Right. And so, yeah, and if you're stuck in ignorance, then even one minute particle, you may say that, like you were saying, Brother Ali, particle X is causing particle Y, or domino 2 is the cause of the movement of domino Y. Just one minute particle can lead you into, can keep you into ignorance, right?
Yeah. Unaware of what we are doing in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Just repeating the same language.
Right.
The same languages we heard from our forefathers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the time is up. We can stop here. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين.